All right. So,
What's up?
how's it going? It's been
Going
a
good.
while.
I know it's been a long time no see. It's been going good.
Yeah,
Just working, looking for jobs, getting
nice.
rejected from jobs.
Yeah, it happens.
How about you? How have you been?
Been good. Can't complain. Just living the life, living the dream.
Nice.
What's up, Cray Cray and Conchu? How you
What's
guys
up, Quick
doing?
Pay and Can't you?
So tonight we're talking all about the fact that Sony is officially ready to sell Spider-Man.
Yay.
Like officially $4 to $5 billion. What are your thoughts on what all this means?
I feel like it's good, but I'm a little worried what they might do with Venom and the people. Well, mainly Venom because I like the movies. I like
Uh,
Venom. Um, Hey, Spider, and I'm worried that they might
Oh,
change that
yo,
up and
yo.
do what Disney does with the other people. Because I like Venom, it was edgy, I liked it, but it's also I
true.
I think, and I also like it that Disney's buying this has bought Spider-Man back or bought Spider-Man to be with Marvel. That way we can get more stuff, more Spider-Man stuff than what we've been getting. Because you know how Disney now is like pushing a lot of stuff out. But that's one. This is double-edged sword because we can get all this content, but we might get mixed quality of the product. Because as we know,
True.
we've seen with the animation and some of the writing too, the special effects. I mean, and the writing of some of the shows and movies. Like, is it worth having all that content out if it's not going to be top tier for the fans? So
Yeah.
I was thinking about that um, when I heard the news that Disney was going to buy Spider Man. I'm expecting to comment.
Hey,
And
what
like,
up, Mark Spector? What's up, my friend?
And I guess the next thing would be Disney to buy the Hulk, the rights to Hulk now,
yeah.
because I would love to see more like independent Hulk movies. That's like a little side thing, but yeah, those are my thoughts. What about you, Chris and Spies Layer? What are your thoughts about this
So it's
whole?
funny that they can do She-Hulk. Like while we're on that topic, real quick, it's funny that they can do She-Hulk, they can do Red
Yeah,
Hulk, they can do any of that, but they can't do Hulk. Like
yeah,
you can't touch Bruce Banner and have him be in his own solo movie because then you're infringing on the rights of Universal.
yeah. Well, Red Hulk came
But
after wasn't in existence when they bought the rights. I think that's why they can do it.
but
She
Yes,
so did
Hulk.
exactly.
Miles, so
Oh
did
yeah,
Gwen
that's right.
Stacy.
That's
Like
right. Yeah,
I
you
don't
have a
I don't know
point.
what contract Universal signed because like if we're looking at what happened with Spider-Man, pretty
None of
much
it was
Sony
touched
owns
it.
the rights to every Spider person that Marvel comes up with until this contract is over,
I
according
Yeah,
to
you
what
do
I
have a point.
understand.
Yeah, maybe they had two very different contracts.
Yeah.
When you like they Sony, not Sony, Universal only wanted just the Hulk. They were like, we don't need these other characters. The Hulk is going to make us money and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the contract, but I think
Yeah, well,
maybe
it goes back longer than that. Alice, it goes back to if you think about it, like this all originates from way back in the '70s to the original Hulk show. And think about it, who held that copyright? NBC did, Universal did. So this is
oh
something
yeah,
that
yeah,
they have brought out back in the day. It was a package deal. It was
Okay.
supposed to be. It was supposed to be the Hulk and Daredevil and Spider Man, and they were gonna put, I forget who the fourth person
Thor.
was, but it
Was
was
it
gonna be
Thor?
four. Yeah,
Thor
it
was
was
in
Thor. Actually,
it
they
was in there,
started
yeah.
doing Thor. They actually introduced him in a couple of episodes of
The
the
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
who the fourth one was supposed to be. But then when all the rights started coming up and people started getting like realizing that what these characters were capable of doing, that's when Marvel started pulling back. I was like, wait a minute, were giving these. They were literally giving the characters away. Like they were literally like making deals that were like giving Hulk and Spider-Man and all these guys away. We're not really putting
Which is
story into
crazy.
it because I don't think they realized it was going to blow up like it did. Because even in the early 70s, comics were new. Like, well, the
Yeah.
Silver Age and, Stanley and all of them, they just hit their, 10th year at this point. So everything was pretty new. So the deals that were coming up to them were, I guess, in their mind eyes, was more money than they will ever see back then. So I guess the deals made sense for the time. But yeah, if you look back on it now, I wouldn't make any of those deals. But this is what happens with Spider-Man pretty much. And so he gets caught up in this same exact umbrella underneath Sony, underneath Universal. Like it starts to get sold the ownership because Disney been trying to buy this for a couple of years now. This is not something that they haven't tried to buy before. But the deal that you see, there's a lot of behind the scenes. Like right now, okay, so I broke the story last month, and the last figure I got was they were sold for $4.1 billion, but there was a lot of caveats behind that $4.1 billion. Like in other words, I feel like Sony must feel like it's coming to a point where they can do everything but what they can do with Spider-Man, and I don't know if I have faith in Disney to do anything with Spider-Man. But the thing about it is that because of the Spider-Verse and all of the hundreds of characters that fall under that umbrella, there are separate universes that's going to exist, even if Sony does, even when the deal is all said and done, and Disney owns them already. There's still so many characters that are going to be available for. Like Amazon's got to deal with the Spider-Verse. Like it's crazy. Like that's going to be confusing when that all comes down, when it's all said and done. But the thing about it is that right now, even though they say everything's sold, there's still a lot of debate behind the scenes because they're putting stipulations into every movie that's being made. So in other words, what they're trying to say now is for every movie that's made, we're going to get this much amount. I mean, the deal from what I read, real quick, it comes out to about, I'm going to say, from what I saw, a total of $11 billion total. So it's actually going to be $11 billion. But then think about it, because they're going to produce the next 3 to 4 movies, and those are the ones that are going to make cash out the ass. Sony's going to produce those. So Sony's going to produce the next 4, and they are going to take profit from that. So it's going to come out to over $11 billion for them. And then they're going to pull all their rights, and then that's when Disney's officially going to own them. And then good luck.
So Disney's not paying $11 billion. Disney's paying between 4 to 5, but Sony's going to profit possibly up to $11 billion based on everything that they're making.
Sony's going to take the lead in profitability for the next 5 films.
That's a lot of money.
So that's Kraven, Venom 3, Spider-Man 4. Hopefully Amazing Spider-Man 3. And what's I thought the Madam Web movie?
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Madam Web movie could be the last one, but I know it's definitely going to be anywhere from 4 to 5. But once it's all said and done, you got to understand, like, that's going to be like, it's going to come out to about $11 billion. And I just think, like, what's been going on lately is, especially with Sony, I just feel like they took the character to the furthest that they could take it. And I mean, these people, it's Disney. They're throwing money at all these intellectual properties,
Yeah. They've also got this video game coming out that we've got to look at. Because
Chris, did you say Spider-Man
Sony,
4?
I don't see Sony giving up the rights to be making that video game.
Yeah, so you see, like, okay, so with the video game and all that, right? Especially the video games coming out, everything from the next, like, even though there's, like I'm explaining, the sales pretty much all said and done, it's a 3-year thing pretty much. So for the next 3 years, you can just imagine that anything that's going to be made that has a Spider-Man brand on it, Sony's going to get about a 75% cut of that, so 25% for Disney, which is pretty much has been the standard for all their business deals, especially with the last movie, Into the Spider-Verse, because that movie was pretty much like 75% profitability went to Sony and 25% went to Disney. So that gives you an idea of, the cut. Oh, of course Sony's making bank. Let me tell you something. Sony Universal, they got lucky back in the day when they snatched up these IPs. You don't understand. Like, these were going for nothing. I wish I was old enough then.
What did Sony buy it for? $1 billion?
Yes, about $1 billion. They bought it for $1 billion, and they bought it from one of the last true owners of Marvel, I believe, at that time, who was actually an executive at Amazon. He recently lost his job this year. I forget the guy's actual name, but he's like pretty much the last official person to hold the rights, and he sold the rights pretty much. And he was chasing these rights for like about 20 years. Once it became a hot potato, the Spiderman's price universe, it started just climbing through the roof, and people were trying to grab it up. But every time somebody tried to grab it, the price just kept increasing and increasing and increasing. $11 billion for that deal. Yeah, they're gonna make a limit. That's what I was just saying. Exactly. I was saying that they're gonna make $11 billion for that deal. It's gonna be crazy because they're pretty much gonna wind up, like I said, with all the next couple of movies that are coming out in the next couple of years. And that's just like you're saying too, video games as well. Also, anything that has anything to do with any kind of toys, Diamond Select, comic prints, etc., etc., etc. They're just gonna
the toy deals alone can make a lot of money.
Oh, the toy deals are like insane. You know, I mean,
kids will be getting all those things. I mean, you could build... if they do like toys in like fast food restaurants.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, look, they already started with the Miles Morales set. I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna get the whole meal set it up and do a nice. Did anyone get the?
Has anyone gotten the Red Burger yet?
No, I think Elliot got it in our chat.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so I know one person definitely got it.
I don't eat Burger King. I haven't had Burger King in years.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm gonna have to get about getting it just for the meal, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna look like the Aftermath.
Oh yeah, I'm still a kid, baby.
Stay there hard till the day I die.
That's the secret to keeping young, everybody. Don't let them tell you to put away your toys and to put away your collectibles. I was told a long time ago from an older person, always, if they saw me with comics, and they were like, you like reading comics? Yes. How much you like reading? I love them. I don't ever want to stop collecting. And they told me, yes, don't ever stop collecting. Don't ever give up the things that you have passion about. Even if they seem childish to others, that doesn't mean nothing. What's important is what you like. So I took that, like, I was like, wow, this is a cool, like, piece of advice. It was from my aunt when I was young, and I never forget this because she was collecting crazy stuff too then. And I believe, like, back then I was about 13 and she was about 23. So she's like 10 years older than me. It's kind of like in that age group where I kind of understood what she was saying, but she was nuts anyway. But that was a good piece of advice that she gave me. And I said she was a nut anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like, how can you be a nut at 23?
Well, oh God, you're a 23-year-old woman back then. Yeah, so yeah, you were a nut, you know. And I'm 13 trying to figure this out. Like, I don't realize at the time that we're very close in age. So, you know, for me, it's just like, oh God, she's so overbearing. But she did have a good point, and I like the fact that when it came to collecting, anything I collected, she was all on board with that and was a collector herself. And also have sisters who collect. I think one of my sisters has like a huge like whatever Barbie you could think about, that girl has. Like those those real high end.
Did you go see the new Barbie movie?
Oh no, I'm not messing with that, man.
No, it's your sister going to see it.
No, I don't know, man. I hope so. I'm pretty sure if she's anything like me, she saw it for sure. But you know, like with me, it's just crazy, like everything that's been going on lately with all the sales. And also this crazy strike that is like, okay, so in case you guys are wondering what's going on in the strike, there's work still, but the thing about the work that's going on now, it's the work that's contractually obligated to do prior to this strike. So when they say there's a strike right now, what they really mean is that there's no writing, no producing, no directing of anything new, but anything that needs to be wrapped up, it's going to be wrapped up. So what's going on pretty much is they're going to have talks by June 30th, and this is the point where they're going to try to settle the contract. But if it's not settled by June 30th, then by that point, all production of everything everywhere will be wrapped up anyway. So we'll be looking at, if they don't come to a deal and the strike continues on, that it's going to shut down Hollywood at that point. So June 30th will be the deadline, and I think I'm going to do a July 1st show after that because I'm going to know everything by then on what's going on. But I can tell you right now from my sources that what they've been telling me is that the value of Hollywood already dipped by over $500 billion just for what's going on right now. Not
That's
including
crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean you have no idea the money's just bleeding out.
I mean,
you
if
know,
all that
if
money
you put that in perspective, that's like 100 James Cameron films.
Yeah, yeah, and that's only and think of the scope of this, okay? Because remember, I broke this story like about I was telling you guys this. I remember breaking this. So yes, I'm probably breaking that story as well because for all
like
who
2 months ago.
Yeah, for all who don't know, I kind of work in the business. I can't say what I do exactly. This is one of the reasons why I wear the mask. Hey, what's up, puppy? This is one of the reasons why I wear the mask. So it's kind of like a tentative deal. I could talk about things, but I just can't put names and places on things. But I can tell you right now,
beautiful
2 months ago,
that's why.
I can tell you right now, 2 months ago, I was already talking to some high up, I won't say who, but high up execs that really sat down with me, and they just pretty much told me, okay, we're going to give you something to talk about, but we're not going to give you too much details, but we're just going to put it to you like this, and then you can word it however you want to your audience and to whoever you want to tell it to. But we are going to have a strike that, if it does go through, is going to be a strike of epic proportions to the point that it's going to be the worst strike they ever had. This is what I was told back 2 months ago, and I was like, what? You serious? And they assured me that they were pretty damn serious. And yeah, as you can see, I mean, I have a lot of good sources, and they usually, like 99% of the time, are on point with everything they tell me. So I don't run that story unless I really know. Even when I ran that story with Spider-Man being sold, I was getting a lot of flack for that too. And I told everybody, hey, look, it's all good. I mean, you'll find out in time, I just find out things a little quicker. It's not my fault, But
so when Spider's Lair says that Disney has bought Spider-Man for $5 billion and Sony's going to make probably 10 to 11 to 12 billion, believe it.
Believe it. Hey, listen,
this is coming from people way above anyone's pay grade.
I'm telling you,
this is what it's already happened. Like, the lawyers just need to dot their T's and cross their I's. Like, that's it.
Yep. Even when I first broke the story, I was explaining this, like what was going on behind the scenes and how everything was going down. And even though you don't hear it really being out in public right now, that doesn't mean the deal's not being done. What's going on is that everything's just being taken care of because they know that there was a certain point where they can't do a press conference right now because of the strike. And they knew this was going to happen. So this is what happened when you have all those things combined at the same time. It was just bad timing for them. Because I know they wanted to do a press conference about this, but they're not going to do it now because based on the fact that there's a strike going on. So they're just trying to wrap this up and hopefully get things going, and we'll see what happens with the strike. But yeah, this is something that's been in the works. I mean, from what I was told, over a year and a half right now, but not being taken seriously until like about 3 months ago. And that's when it sold like about a month and a half ago to 2 months ago. Like the 2 months ago market was pretty much at the bottom, at the end of the deal. Then about 6 weeks ago, it pretty much sold. And then after that, that's when everything's like, now you're starting to hear all the stories of what's going on, and you'll hear more details about the deal. But like I said, I'll break that too. Like when I broke the whole deal down, the tentative deals for all of their merchandise and all of their movies and their comic books and their video game rights, they're going to net a total with that 4.1 billion, I think I said it was, but it is 5 billion. They're gonna net about 11 billion total, and that's gonna be awesome for them. I mean, I just worry because it's Disney. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is it's 5 billion, and then once you get the lawyers involved, once you get that's about 900,000 to pay everyone to get this deal to go through.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, that's just standard right there. I mean,
yeah.
You gotta understand, there's an SPO for this, and they just activate the protocol, call upstairs. They call the 14th floor, and they go, hey, we'll get ready to sign off on this. We're going to send you guys some documents. Get the PAs ready. That's it. They'll just start.
I mean, this contract's probably been written up and rewritten and written again 5 million times
it's
for
still being rewritten
10
as
years.
we speak. It's still being rewritten right now. Even though they're in the process of the deal being finalized, they're still working out the little the little percentages going back and forth because Sony's asking for a lot and Disney's trying to get their money's worth. And Sony knows what they got. And they're like, listen, this is our deal. We sticking to it. So we're going to go forward. So, yeah, it's just a little nitpicking back and forth. But the bottom line is
dangling the carrot.
Sony's about to make $10 billion off a $1 billion investment. I mean, that's a great payday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and plus, like I said, like, I just feel like, for what I understood too, and I asked the question of the sale, why it was being bought, and why do they think Sony's selling it? And the answer I got for those questions were, they feel Sony did enough with it, and they just feel like the way that they honestly feel that the way that the industry's been going lately, that this is not going to be profitable for them in the next 10 years. So rather than stick it through the long haul, they just rather just cash out now while the cash-in's good. And it could be the case. I mean, because if we think about it right now, guys, and we talk to a lot of independents already who just got new stuff coming out all the time. And, you know, I don't mean to plug my book, but I'm almost done, guys. I'm up to the last 5 pages.
No, he does mean
it's
it.
Like,
he does mean plugging his book.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking about people like me and people
that
making things like, I mean, even if you get all these stories, I mean, I just think it's going to come to a point where people are just going to be like, you know what? I like this stuff. I like collecting it. I like collecting the old comics. I still have them. I still have my whole collection. I mean, I have comics that are old, but when I look at the new Spiderman, I'm not even going to start with how freaking awful that story is. I mean, it's really like a self-inserted story of a freaking author that, if I ever saw one, I mean...
Which one? The one that came out this year?
Yes. I mean, if you guys don't want spoilers, I won't say much. I won't give away the story.
I've been reading those.
Well, so you know what I'm talking about then. So how can you like the story? Every damn freaking... every damn issue has Miss Marvel in it for no apparent reason whatsoever. I'm like, what's going on in this story? Then all of a sudden now, you find out that Peter Parker... is not even with Mary Jane. What the hell's that about? Like, come on, man. Come on. I was, like, annoyed with the story to the point I just stopped reading. I want to collect it because it's Spider-Man. And the art is great, especially, like, the new covers I was picking up.
The covers are good.
I mean, and 26, even though I don't like the story, I don't say not to buy the comic. Listen, everybody. Wait, let me make this a little...
Wait, you said 26? Issue number 26?
Amazing Spider-Man issue 26, not 25 that just came out. The next one.
I'm reading the Spider-Man comic, not the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. So you didn't read the Amazing Spider-Man. So the new one, read that, and then you tell me how annoying that story is.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I'll read it.
The 26 that's coming out, that's the one that's gonna have the death of Captain Marvel, and no, Miss Marvel. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. He fell off his seat. See, it just fell off his seat.
I'll be right back, guys.
Breaking news. All right, man. Go ahead. I'll keep this flowing.
Do you know why they're killing her off?
What do you mean why? It's for profit. And they're going to make her a mutant to bring her back because she's coming back as a mutant.
Oh,
That's it. I guarantee you she'll be resurrected right before the Marvels come out. Want to bet? I already saw some of the... I won't say script, but the ideas floating around out there on a little call sheet. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm reading it.
That's just weird.
It is weird.
Like, if they were to kill somebody, I think they should just leave it, like, let them die for, like, almost a year. I mean, instead of, like, bringing it right away. I think that kind of just takes away from everything.
Yeah, you see, but you got to understand, like, what they're trying to do is, okay, this whole Phase 5 thing is a weird phase. Because they're trying to make mutants different from what the traditional mutants are in the comics. But I'll be honest, I don't know if you guys read anything modern when it comes to like the mutants, the Avengers and everything. It's completely whacked because they have a protocol that could bring back any mutant now. So it's pretty much like you have characters that could be resurrected. This is any mutant, by the way. It was something to do with Mr. Sinister, the Sinister Protocol. That's what it was. Yes, Sinister Protocol. He embedded something into every freaking mutant in the world, and that when they die, he was able to activate them and resurrect them. But what they didn't know is that a piece of Mr. Sinister was in them. So he was able to activate what he called the Sinister Protocol and was able to take the mutants over pretty much. I mean, like, the whole bottom line about that whole story is that the way that they got the mutants set up now, there's really no consequence for them. I mean, they can go on missions, they die, they come back to life. There's no... So I believe that they're trying to work this into the next phase of mutants because they don't want to go with X-Men. They're really trying to change the X-Men. I don't think they're going to, though. They're getting too much backlash for that. But they don't even want to go with that name. When they were told about changing it to the mutants, everybody's like, no. I mean, they changed this to the Marvels already. And I don't even know why, to this day, they threw the 2 other Miss Marvels in there like they did. I don't think that they had confidence that Brie Larson was going to carry this alone. I don't know if that was the case or not, because everybody believes that when that movie came out, Captain Marvel, that it's just landed in between 2 great franchises that just were, you know, it was the right move at the right time, but it wasn't a $1 billion movie. In other words, it wasn't a $1 billion movie to the point that fans. I mean, I'll be honest. To this day, I ask this to everybody: can you tell me who was she fighting? What was that guy's name? What was the fight about? What was the whole plot about? You see, not her fault. I don't blame Brie Larson. You're an actress. You give it a role. You put your work into the role. That's what you do. I hate when people blame the actor and the actress because you don't understand. Unless you are up in the business, and I'm talking about Megan. I've seen people that were able to just go on set. I won't say names, but I was able to see people go on set being agitated, and then all of a sudden change the script right there. I'm watching this, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And I'm like, sitting back watching this, I'm like, oh, look at this, and then change the script. But these are people who, for everybody else, you're not going to be able to do that. And I think Brie Larson, of course, she put in her input, but she's not able to make any script changes. And she don't know nothing about the story. She's an actress. So it was like, you got a person there that just didn't take off with the people, I guess. Like, she wasn't like, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I really don't remember Captain Marvel to that point. I don't remember it at all much, to tell you the truth.
I enjoyed Captain Marvel, I have to be honest. Like,
yeah,
I
it was enjoyable.
It was good, and it was an enjoyable movie. Like,
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed myself.
Would I rate it perfectly? No,
yeah.
But like, I enjoyed watching it, and that's where I kind of am like, you know what? As soon as I enjoy watching something, it's above a 6 for me.
Yeah,
if I don't enjoy it at all, then like I'm not gonna rewatch it. I'm probably not gonna review it. I'm just gonna tell people it sucked. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, you know, I like the movie, but what I like more than anything is to be able to retain. Like, if a movie's real good to me, I'll retain the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, when I first saw the first Tom Maguire Spider-Man, I thought that they got everything right. I was upset when they did the weapon, but I was like, okay, you know what? Let's not be too nitpicky. I mean, I was one of those guys even back then. I was like, no, he invented weapons. So I'm screaming at the screen. I said, what is this? Why is he shooting it through his hands? But
I actually like that aspect.
No, but then my boy's like, but that's freaking cool. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That is actually cool.
It's cool, but it's not comic accurate. And I hated that they nuked his genius level intellect in the original series. Like, rewatching that now, rewatching the first trilogy, I'm like, he was such an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like he's supposed to be.
Never talked about how much of a science nerd he was, and that's why I loved Amazing Spider-Man as a teenager, because I'm like, yes, this is my Spider-Man. This is the Spidey that I love, because he is so like down to earth, but badass, quippy, and smart all at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I'll be honest, out of that series, or I like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, you talk about getting that death of Gwen Stacy down perfectly. I mean, I couldn't have. That's got to be up there as my favorite movie, because I mean, I did like Spider-Man, the first 2 from Sam Raimi, and I didn't like the third one. I mean, I just felt like
I don't think anyone liked the third one.
I mean, but we did get Bully Maguire. Shout out to Bully Maguire.
I know.
That's half of Spider Layer's channel.
I know. All those videos he sent us are like a Bully Maguire.
That's right. Because, he has to live in our minds, in our hearts, and our soul everywhere. That's it. You know, that was the only good thing about that movie. Other than that, like, I didn't really care for it. I mean, first of all, you took Venom and you destroyed him. What the hell? listen.
Yeah, Venom was a badass character, but then when they did him in Spider-Man 3, it's like, the fuck?
Yo,
how are you gonna waste Venom as a character?
I was screaming at the screen.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, I was like,
Wait,
what
Slayer.
Screaming at the screen.
Slayer.
What?
Have you seen Misery?
Yes, I've seen Misery.
Was that like you? Was that you? Like,
yes!
No, you Call of Duty. Like, that's not how it went down. Chris, you seen Misery, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I've been a dirty birdie.
and the funniest part is I can see someone having to like grab Spider's leg and be like, no, you got to calm down. You got to relax. Like, just chill.
No, and it's funny because it was my best friend next to me at that time saying the same thing what you're saying. He was like, bro, it's okay. I was like, it's not okay. What did they do there? What is that? I swear I will never watch. I'm telling you guys, I watched it when it first came out, day one. I never watched it again in any format.
Really?
I'm telling you, I'm going to go over the movie once, like, eventually, because I never watched it. I mean, I have a DVD. I have the Blu-ray. I have the Ultra, whatever the hell, that ultraviolet crap. I have so many of these things, like, laying around. Closed. They're closed. Yeah, they're closed. Ultraviolet DVD, freaking the 4K disc, all that. Like,
he hates digital, it so much, he won't even open it up.
Freaking closed.
You bought it, but you won't even open it?
No!
Exactly.
No,
he was so mad that he bought it.
No,
but it's like...
I didn't even buy it.
In my collection, but I'm not gonna support it by watching it.
I didn't even buy it. It's like I got these like from gifts from people over there because obviously it's just a layer. So I always tell people, they go, "What do you like?" I'm like, "Oh, Spider-Man stuff." Doesn't matter. So hey, for Christmas, open it up. I'm so excited, and I'm like, "The hell is this?" I'm like saying to myself, "The fuck is this? Oh my god!" Like it was like from a relative of mine. So I was like, oh, thank you. Like, well, I'm not freaking doing anything with this. Now I can't sell it because, they're going to be like, what happened to it? I can't say I lost it. I mean, how can I say I'm irresponsible with Spider-Man memorabilia and have an entire layer? I can't be that guy. Like, you just won't believe it.
Like, what if your girlfriend walks in? It's like, honey, are you okay? What happened? It's like, they... He's like fucking just mad.
I promise I put it somewhere. It's somewhere back there. I just don't know where it went.
Now, I can actually go if I ran them real quick. I could pull them out. They're just everywhere. I have like 5, 6 of these things. I can't get rid of them. I won't get rid of them. They're gifts. I don't get rid of anything. Whoever gives me anything, I keep it pretty much. I'm a hoarder like that. But I don't open these things. I won't open it. I am going to open one. And I am going to do a review on it because I honestly feel like it's time for me to sit back, suck it up, and be like, okay, you know how this is going to end. You know it's going to be bad. So let's look for everything that was good in that movie. And I'll be honest, but besides Bully Maguire, I really don't. I really didn't care for the movie. But then, like I said, when I saw Amazing Spider-Man 1, I liked that one. It wasn't like the greatest movie for me, but I liked it. I was like, okay, it's a decent way to start out. I got the list. I liked how they were doing that. I was seeing the little Marty McFarlane Spider-Man in that one. But he pulled off Amazing Spider-Man with that Gwen Stacy. To me, that's what made him the Amazing Spider-Man for me. And that was what made Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like, he could be put in a Spider-Man series, like a Tom McFarlane. But he can, but they just need to go back to his story and really, and that's one of the rumors that are going on right now about Spider-Man 4, is that
wait, they're doing a Spider-Man 4?
No. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not being done officially, but the rumors that are going around is that they want to push the Spider-Man 4 story with Sam Raimi directing it again, going with the Venom symbiote, but using the same people who already did Venom as the CGI, as the special effects to help them cultivate, because they have the better grasp of understanding what Venom is, what the symbiote is, You don't think so?
Nope.
Wait, are they going to have Toby
I
in
think...
it?
Well,
so
I'm saying
they already did
to
Spider-Man 4, in my opinion, because in No Way Home it's mentioned, and I can't remember if it's in the extended version or just like the original or like a deleted scene or whatever.
You talk about the part where he leaves the symbiote behind and he does like that kind of time warp travel?
So it wasn't that. It was Tobey Maguire. He talked about it was either in the movie or after the movie where he basically said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, I fought a flying guy too. And it was pretty much all of the events of Spider-Man 4 had already happened, and he went through them, and now he's kind of settled down. And like, there's no Spider-Man 4 to possibly be had because you'd have to do a flashback Spider-Man 4 instead of jumping forward or instead of him going back from No Way Home and then carrying out the original Spider-Man 4 storyline.
Yeah.
Whole new storyline with a whole new Tobey Maguire, like a whole new like script with Tobey Maguire retaking on the role, or you send Tobey Maguire back to when Spider-Man 4 happened accidentally, but that doesn't make sense because then it's like, okay, Doctor Strange can stop an Infinity Stone, but he can't send Peter Parker right back to where he took him from.
Well,
so it's like,
you see, and that's where the conundrum starts to come in about the multiverse, and this is the problem, is that Doctor Strange can do that, but at his current level, and as far as how the MCU made him, they pretty much like they nerfed him. I mean, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, so technically he knows how to, but he really can't. He can't, even if he wanted to.
I did like the reasoning for why he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. That makes sense.
I mean,
keeping the Sorcerer Supreme as dust would just be stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I get it too. I mean, was I happy about it? Nah. I mean, I'll be honest, like when it comes to Marvel lately, and I haven't been too happy with them. But I can say this much. When it came to the casting, I mean, they were pretty hitting it spot on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even with all the Spider-Man, all these kids play Spider-Man quite well. I mean, they all have their own unique flair on it. Yeah. And like I said, I did like, oh man, when they all were on screen together, I ain't gonna lie, I think I was screaming like a little girl, like all you guys were too, and you were, everybody watching this, you were, because I did not hold
back. Sitting there like mixing up the serums and stuff, and they're having that conversation. Amazing. I was like, yes, like this is the nerdy side of me is like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love the fact that they are literally just nerding out in a science lab right now. Yeah. Like we've never seen this side of any of these Peters.
Yeah, and and that's the point. Like, and I'm glad they did that in the movie. But like I said, you do understand this is right now all this wonderful story we're talking about is still under the guise and the iron fist direction of Sony.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with this deal, they're still going to be directing these movies as well. So they're going to have they're going to have complete control over what's being put out, final cut, final say.
The movie
it's a crazy deal.
Madam Web, or
up
the
movies up until like whatever the obligation is supposed to be, which is 4 to 5 movies. I'm just not sure of the number right now because for what I heard today, and I talked to my sources earlier because I hit them up once a week, to check in, and so I asked this question, and this is the answer I was given. Pretty much that the deal's pretty much on, but they're still,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Tom Holland already has a second trilogy contract, right? He's already signed on for 4, 5, 6.
For what I understand about Tom Holland, he just renewed. Yes.
Okay.
Literally just renewed, like about a couple of days ago. So he's definitely in for 4, 5, and 6.
So they've got that to work out on top of this.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield, however, for what I understand, is at this point done. He's done, and this comes from his camp. All right, yeah. Really? I could be breaking another story. Damn, I don't know if I should be talking about this. Wait, I wasn't told. Wait, I wasn't told I couldn't talk about it. Okay, so yes, unfortunately, from what I gathered,
he's so excited to play that character again, though.
No, he said he's done right now. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, like I said, everything that I say will be revealed in time.
Yeah.
So just know from the conversation that his agent had with 2 of my sources who were sitting in the room at the time, from what the agent told him, is that at this time that he's going to walk away from the role. He's not renewing his contract. It's not saying that he's not willing to step back in, but I do believe he has a project or 2 coming up. I don't know what the projects are. For one of them is a passion project, and the other one is a film or something. But I don't know if they're doing this for more money or they're just waiting to see what goes on with the deal. Because, like I said, there's already movies being made, so that he already knows that what order he's in regardless. Or, I always say this too, they could just be giving us misinformation as well, because they don't want you to know. Like, let's say he makes a cameo somewhere. They're not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, I know how this industry works, and believe me, when it comes to cameos and stuff like that, they're very good, like, at keeping a secret. I mean, I saw a secret once that I could have really blew up. It was like really major reveal of a character, and I was there present at the time, and I was like, damn, I can just tell, and I can't NDCs and stuff. Yeah. This is rare when it happens, but when it happens, it's a wonderful thing to be, I guess, in the middle of, because
for sure.
My job is just weird because like right now I haven't worked in a couple of weeks. Obviously the strike's slowing things down, so it goes by seniority. I'm like a mid guy. I'm not like at the top or the bottom yet. I'm more of the mid, but it's all good though. I mean, I have no complaints. I mean, I take what I get, and when I get it, I just make sure that I first of all make a lot of connections to people because I'm a blabbermouth and it's all good, and sometimes people know who I am already, sometimes people don't. And when they find out who I am, they're like, oh, I'm going to subscribe up to you and stuff like that. And I'm just waiting to settle down into a more permanent role because I have a couple of people from the industry and I'm waiting for this. And I told them I'm going to do this soon, but I already have people that are going to come in and help me with the lighting and the camera and the sound. And
nice.
But these are like professional Hollywood people. No way. When I learn how to do this, I'm going to make a whole video about it too. And they said they're down to be in the video, so they're going to help me do all this. And yeah, I'm going to get all my stuff set up professionally by the pros who make your TV shows and movies, like the people who actually do this stuff. Are the
That's
people
really
who
cool.
Help me. Yeah, I mean,
send them our way when they're done with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my way.
That's what I'm saying, Alex and me. That way, all three of us can look professional side by side.
Yeah, we're like, what's up?
We're gonna turn that gorilla
get
upside
professional
down.
Gorilla and train it to mimic what I'm saying.
He's gonna have 2 hours of makeup being turned into a gorilla before every show.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Send me an amazing. Alex, send me an amazing picture of a gorilla, and I'll animate it for you, and I'll make it real nice. I'll give you a nice little avatar. I'll hook it up for you, man.
So
I'll make it lightning. Yeah.
Easiest question that I think I can ask tonight is, do you think Marvel is going to take over the creation of any future Spider-Man games with this contract, or do you think they'll keep it at Sony's camp?
I think they might keep it at Sony's because that could be a different contract. Maybe that's in it. Like we keep the rights with the video games.
No, they don't keep the rights with the video games either. Spider-Man's going to be sold. Everything that's intellectually tied to him, except for the Spider-Verse, the whole Spider-Verse. Because, so, like I always tell people, and people need to research this, because trust me, I have nothing against Dan Slott, one of the longest writers of Spider-Man comics. Not my most favorite writer, and I know this the guy. I'm just saying, like,
one of the best, but not the best.
It's like you gotta understand something, guys. It's like staying too long in a job or in a field or something where, you can just actually do something else and move on. And I'm not saying that it's not easy to move on. And I get it. The money's there. Your reputation's there. But the way this guy talks about Spider-Man, like, he really doesn't really get Spider-Man. I don't care how many he wrote. He doesn't get Spider-Man. And I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is that with this whole new series that's being written, it's like the writer itself is self-inserted into the story. And I don't have a problem if you want to self-insert yourself into a story. It just doesn't make no sense. Mary Jane would not be going with this dweeb over Spider-Man. There's no way in hell. It's not happening. There's no way you can tell me.
I don't know. Sam Raimi wrote it like that in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, and this is why I never opened that damn thing up again. Now you understand why. This is why I never opened it up. I never saw that movie again. I'm telling you. I think one time I was in a hotel and it was on. It was on like in the lobby, and I like gave the guy $10. I gave him $10. I was like, please change that. Put on anything you want. He didn't even ask me why. He just changed it. And somebody said, hey, I was watching that. I said, no more, you're not. That's all. That's it. I couldn't take that movie. It's like really to a point in that movie that I don't know. It's like, what the hell was going on?
So do you have PTSD from that movie or something?
Yeah, I think, I think you're right. I didn't realize until talking about it right now, but I'm reliving the horror and the pain. It's like I'm getting hot flashes and I'm getting sweaty and dizzy. Yeah, I think I am traumatized from that. Because you don't understand, I was at the
Every time
movies.
you mention it, he gets like that.
Oh, man, I had the perfect seat.
He gets like the Vietnam themed in the back.
Yes.
Have you seen those memes? But
you don't know, man. You weren't there.
You weren't there, man. Venom's in the trees. Venom's in the trees. Venom's everywhere.
Have you seen that photo though? Like the picture of the Vietnam dog. It's like a meme. They use like a Chihuahua looks like it's having existential crisis, and in the background is like the Vietnam War. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys.
You gotta send it.
Yeah, I would like.
But it's fucking funny when they use it like when you're having flashbacks. It's like, what the fuck?
Man, I mean, look, I can't even speak on it. You see, I'm trying to find something else.
You're trying.
It's horrible. If not, okay, one of those Batman movies. Yeah, the Batman one with
the nipples.
Clooney. Yes. Fuck me with that. Excuse my language. Oh my god. I don't know which one was worse. That one or the damn Spiderman.
YouTube's not paying us, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, see, that means I can say whatever I want now?
That's why we're doing Patreon.
There we go. See, look, become a Patreon member. Starting at $1.
Damn.
I'm a Patreon member. You know, I don't know.
Now I have to actually start like creating stuff to give people.
As long as we don't get kicked off YouTube, because then we got to figure out somewhere else to stream this shit too.
Oh yeah. So also, guys, you know what we were talking about earlier. I got to figure out how to link up, because I know you can link up your Rumble to this. So we should figure that out. So next time we stream,
you have a Bumble account?
Yeah, I do have a Rumble. I haven't really been on it much, but I'm gonna definitely get into it.
No, not Bumble.
Not Bumble.
Site. I was like, what the fuck?
No, not Bumble. Rumble with an R.
I'll be confused.
Rumble.
If you had it, I'll be like, what?
No, I'm on Bumble.
Wait, no. To be fair, they do have a friendship option. When I used to use it, I just knew there was a friendship option.
Yeah, so you know, like there's a way that we can stream. Like from what I understand, like if you're doing a stream, you could do both on Rumble and on YouTube at the exact same time,
Rumble,
simultaneously.
I don't know what that is.
Rumble is like a YouTube alternative, pretty much. It's a new up and coming channel that has like pretty much the same content of YouTube, of course, not the following that YouTube has, but way less restrictions to the point that anything goes on Rumble. Pretty much, it's like what YouTube should be as far as free speech and all that. And I understand. Look, you come in, like people always give me this crap about, oh, it's free speech, and yes, we have a right for free speech. But also, too, like, you know, if a company's making money, let's say, and they know that advertisers are going to pull out based on what's being said or what's being put out, then you got to look at it from a business perspective. And that's how I look at it. I don't take it personally. I understand that this is a business and you're in, and the whole point of being in this business is to make money. You have to make money on what you're doing. No matter what, you always got to try to make money, period. I mean, so if the content, they see that it's going to be something that would disrupt advertisers, that's when they start, you know, hey, look, guys, this and that, please don't do this and that. But Rumble's different. Like anything goes, especially you have a Patreon there, and you have the Patreon set up too. So see, like right now, you could be watching us here, you could be watching us there. The Patreon could be simultaneously hitting both sets. So I'm gonna try to figure this out. Now I'm a little older, so I'm not that knowledgeable with all this high tech stuff. That's my lazy way of saying, Alex, you got me?
Yeah, I'm not that.
Come on, man. Aren't you like a PhD? Come on, dude. I need some PhD help here. Come on. I'm not no PhD. Look at me. Look at all that money I could have put into a degree. I put into CGC.
Yeah, no. I like how you brought that up. He, like, degree. I'm like in debt. You have the money.
I have degrees. I have Amazing Spider-Man degree, Amazing Spider-Man 300 degree. Yeah, I got all these degrees. I got signed degrees. Yeah.
If you could get a degree in that.
You can get a degree in anything these days.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on education, but
I know.
Understand the foundations of education. This is not a preach or a lecture or a history lesson, but you know, Rockefellers needed people to work, so the school systems were pretty much funded by them off of the Austrian model of teaching. And the story. I mean, you got a teacher, so you would know what I'm saying. The Austrian model of teaching is what we have in our U.S. school systems. That this was something that was adopted from America, but this was also something that was done through Rockefeller, because Rockefeller knew I got to educate my people, my engineers, my silo people, my grunts, my workers. I need to educate them enough to do what I need to do, but not give them the one thing that they need, which is that, hey, you can be right up here with me. No. So that's, and this is why, like, school in a way is indoctrination. Religion is indoctrination. Everything's indoctrination. When you hear indoctrination, I laugh at it because it's not something that hasn't been going on. It's been going on forever since school existed. It's just that it seems like within every, I'm gonna say within every
even before school existed.
decade, like within every decade, within every generation, something slightly changes, and we're dealing with a different kind of like social construct right now. That to me, it's just like I'm totally out of the loop. I don't know what's going on. I mean, and this is happening in every aspect of life, and it's just something that obviously we have to deal with. It's just, but it's also at the same time something that it's just like, it's something different. I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of this in the education. I can't imagine what you guys go through. It's nuts. And I've talked to people who have been in different industries and stuff. I mean, Hollywood, it doesn't seem to be an issue with them whatsoever. I mean, it's just another Tuesday for them, And I meet all types. I mean, I met the nicest people, the most humblest actors, and the most bitchiest people too.
Have you met Keanu Reeves? Can you at least tell us that? Have you met Keanu Reeves?
I haven't met him yet. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. I've come close to being on 2 projects with this man so far, but just haven't clicked yet. But
what about Pedro Pascal?
No, but I was working with his partner, the guy, like I was telling you guys last time, the actor who plays in Narcos with Pascal. I'm friends with him, so I met him.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good, dude, man. And
you're like one step away.
I mean,
you're one step away from meeting Daddy.
I mean,
have you guys seen the internet? Like they're calling him Daddy now.
Yep,
it's pretty funny. The thirst traps. It's funny.
Yeah, So, I mean, I'm probably gonna meet Mr. Pascal one day for sure. It's only a matter of time. It's just for like, because we're floating around the tri-state area, so it's pretty much, if there's a project that's going to be coming up soon in the tri-state area, and this man has the project, then I will more than likely run into this individual, whenever the time comes.
Autographs for us.
It's weird because when I meet stars,
it's weird.
I honestly, like, sometimes I'll meet a star, like, okay, so his partner I'm talking about, his name is Scoop McNeely, and this is the person who plays his partner in the show Narcos, Pascal's partner, and that's who I'm talking about. That's his partner. I met him when we were working on a movie called La La Crocodile, and
Ooh.
yeah, and I can say this much. I don't think he would mind me saying it, but whenever I would just like pick him up somewhere, we would just drive him to wherever he has to go. The man, I used to tell him, look, I sing horribly, and that's that. And this man was like, what kind of music do you sing? So I put on some I put on some metal, I put on some rock, and he's like, this is my jam, let's go. And I'm sitting here with Scoop McNeely screaming in the middle of Manhattan.
That's what's up.
We're bowing it out. We're sitting there down the road with the windows open and just music blaring, and we're singing like 2 fools, and we're having a great time. This is how Scoop McNeely is, and he told me Pascal's the exact same way, that these guys hang hard and they're very humble. Scoop is a great guy. I seen this man come on set and treat everybody like royalty. Hey, what's up?
That's amazing. I love hearing when actors or actresses are like that with other people. Because it shows that they're not all snobs. That people.
Yeah, you see, I just wish that he told me too. Like he wanted me to be like
high holders.
I was gonna be his right hand man. Had I not gone on the job so late, because I didn't get assigned him, so I'm more like a mixed assignment. But I was assigned like all the actors and stuff, so I got to run through the whole cast and met everybody, and they were all amazing, right down to the kids. They were really, they were all cool people. But me and Scoop, we had like that crazy relationship. It was cool, So shout out to you, Scoop McNeely. I'm gonna hit you up, man, soon. No way, I didn't forget you. I haven't hit, I tried, I got his number, and we hit each other up from time to time. I just try not to, I understand he's an actor. I try not to I don't want to be that fan like, hey, Scoop, what's up? How you doing? It's me. Oh, let me in. You know, but I'll be honest. When you first meet actors, it's weird because it depends. I saw him and I recognized him. And I was like, oh, he looks familiar. But I'll play along. Oh, but I'll tell you another story if you guys want to hear an even better story about when I met Michael Manson, and he was talking about Kate Blanchett, his ex-wife. You know, the chick that played in Underworld.
No, that's Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, and I met
Kate Blanchett, someone else.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. I'm sorry, I always mix her name up. But I met
my
her
first
husband.
Celebrity crush.
Yeah, I met her husband, Michael Manson. I was working with him one day, and I recognized him, but I forgot that she was married to him, but they're divorced. But we were having a great conversation about this. I was like, oh my God. You know, I was telling her, I said, me and my fiance, like, I'll be honest, man. Your wife, like, he goes, ex-wife. I said, oh, okay, so what a hot woman. Not for nothing. Like, you know, that's a hot one right there. He said, yeah, she was. He said she was too much, like, for him to, like, really handle, I guess. Well, you know, he didn't tell me exactly why they broke up, but we were talking about the kids. They have a daughter, and, you know, I mean, another guy that I met that was just, like, he was doing a show at the time. I forget the name of the show that we were on, but he was on that show, and, yeah, I was just riding with him one day, and he just told me the whole story of his underworld wife and the things they were going through when she was filming. And, you know, because she was away for a couple of months. I think the movies were putting it straight. He didn't say it exactly, but from what I could tell, you know, I could just get the gist of what's going on in the combo. And I felt like from the gist of what he was telling me that, yeah, this movies, because those movies were going back to back for a couple of years, that was putting a toll on the marriage. It's very hard. Like, you know, when you're in that kind of business to have a relationship that can be sustained, I mean, over time, because you're always going to be doing different projects. And I believe sometimes, too, because I won't say who told me this, but an actor did tell me this one time. And I asked him out of curiosity. I said, okay, I always wondered, right, when I was young, I was always thinking, oh, when I get to retire, I'm going to retire. I want to retire. Yeah, why are people still working? What's going on? And then one day I had an actor tell me, if you really don't put in, and if you really don't, like, try, and you're not actively seeking roles, they forget about you like that. They do not play. No, I'm telling you, if an actor turns down a single role, that can end their career. So now imagine, you're at the point where you know, if I turn this down, it can end my career. But if I take it, it can damage my career. This is why you see sometimes actors you're like, you say to yourself, you're like, I know this actor. He can act good. What the hell happened? Why would he take such a BS movie?
Who was it that just came out and said, oh, Nick Cage, he just came out and said, I took some crappy movies just to make $6 million so that I could pay off all the debt I was in from the stupid properties I bought.
Yep.
Like, I mean, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand how the business works. I mean, everything is subject to making money. But there's also set limits on what you can do. Like, in other words, from what I was told from actors over the years is that, you know, you get to a point where it's, even if you hate the idea, the ideology, you hate it, you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, you're just pretty much ending your career. Which is why whenever they say to me, oh, get in this. Oh, you can act. Oh, you could do this. Oh, you could do that. I go, nah, I'm good. I got to do my own thing.
You can do it.
Listen, Hollywood is weird, okay? I've been around this for a while now, and it's freaking weird. I never see anything wrong, and I'll tell you honestly, guys, whenever I see children that are actors, and I make friends with everyone, you know, and I don't push my friendship on people, you know. I'm in a position where I'm always, like, you know, running around doing errands, grabbing people, taking them places, so I'm always going to be social with people no matter what. Well, once I make friends with the children, I pull them to the side. Oh, I tell them right in front of their parents, anybody ever touches you, anybody ever harms you, you know what I did, guys. So anybody ever touches you or harms you, you let me know. I'm coming for their ass. So, you know, I say this because this is Hollywood.
That's good.
And I'll be honest, and a lot of people, like, in the industry are not aware of my background, but most of them are. And once they find out what my background is, they're very careful where they will put me because they already know. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah. I'm not gonna stand by and let anything happen. And trust me, I'm not saying anything's happening because I can tell you from my personal perspective and experience over the years being part of the industry, and I've been part of many projects. So it's like you can imagine my job is pretty much floating around the different projects. And if a project comes up and I land on one, I can stay on that for a couple months, and then we just keep bouncing to the next project until, like, after a couple years, like, I'm in the union, I guess, but I'm not on the book. Yeah, I didn't make my book. In other words, they call it making your book. Like, I guess it takes a couple years, like about 8 to 10 years, before you're paying your membership.
That's not a couple years.
For them, it's nothing. You understand? Like, this is local 817, the transportation union and stuff. So for them, it's nothing to get. You can work for years without making the book, but once you get that book, then that's it. That now, any and all jobs are open for you because then everyone knows your reputation. It just takes years because you gotta understand you're working in the industry where you got to be around people that are actors and actresses, producers, directors, writers, and you have to be able to not only be professional but to keep your mouth shut. That's it. It's like the mafia, but worse. Because the mafia will just shoot you in the back of the head. These people will sue you into oblivion. It's way worse. You get sued into the poorhouse, so you got to be careful what you do. But
so
like I said,
good question.
Yeah. What have you heard about? I'm glad you brought that up.
I've been hearing all good things lately, but
I heard that Kraven, as it's going to be made right now, going to have zero to do with Spider-Man, which to me is a dumb. It has nothing to do. Well, I can also say this much though. Why should
Kraven going to be young in this?
I think this is his origins. I think this is Kraven coming up till he becomes the Kraven the Hunter.
So I read somewhere that this Kraven is supposed to be like an animal lover or protector of animals. Is that true? I hope not.
I don't know. I didn't hear that. And if that's the case,
I think that was a troll because I saw that too.
Right, because Kraven the Hunter. I mean, like, imagine that I'm Kraven the Hunter and I love teddy bears.
But Cruella came out and that whole movie was about how much she loved her dog, and she ended up keeping those 3 Dalmatians. Like, I mean,
oh God, that's true.
Without a doubt, there's got to be something there. I mean, there's been a ton of fan theories that it's actually her grandmother who's takes her name in the 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I didn't really like that movie because
I loved it because it had Emma Stone.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's the only reason.
She looked great in that movie, but I mean the fact that they're taking.
Showing this.
Oh, I got that cover.
I did too. I love that
cover. That they took a villain and they're trying to make her like in a good spotlight. Yeah. For me, that kind of takes away where her original character was.
There you go. And this is the problem. You see, you're hitting it exactly what you just said. Now, I'll give you a better example so then we can all be caught up on what the hell's actually going on. But look at freaking Star Wars. When they're sitting up there on the panel and they're interviewing these guys, one of these jerk-offs, I don't know what the actor's name was, he says that it's not about good or evil. It's about what's in between. What the hell are you talking about? We're not playing Knights of the Old Republic. You're not trying to get your good and evil bar up. It is about 2 sides, good and evil. Why is this jerk off saying that it's not about that? It is about that. Because
they don't know what they're talking about.
Listen, they don't know exactly.
Wasn't that the interview when they were like they were with George Lucas? She was sitting next to George Lucas and she said that?
No, it wasn't a female who said this. This was like the latest I forget what they were promoting now. This was like out about a month ago. It's
probably the Rey stuff they're gonna make.
Yeah, maybe. And they were pretty much explaining the story about this and they touched on it and I thought the freaking I just thought it was weird. Like it didn't make sense to me. Because Disney is just like, I don't know, like when it comes to like the freaking Star Wars, they have no clue what they do with that. Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy is an atrocious nightmare for this franchise. What
did you think of Mandalorian?
I thought that the first 2 seasons were great, and once I saw that Mando had to be rescued, I checked out because I already knew from that point on that I wasn't gonna like it. Now I'm not saying, and I didn't, and this is just my opinion because I'm looking at it from a Star Wars perspective and a lore perspective because I already know that nobody's ever gonna follow the lore. I expect that, I mean, the Lizzo and Jack Black skit was funny, but it really didn't belong there.
Yeah, I don't think they did not belong in there.
No, I mean
they did not belong at all. But that's what made it like a nice. It was a nice little like let's stop and just like explore the universe for a minute instead of all of this needs to be crash bang boom action.
See, and I give hats off to Jack Black because he's in that, and he's also in like the highest gross animated film of all time. Have good music on Super Mario Brothers. Now you see, why can't
any of the top 1 hit?
Listen, yeah,
Lizzo can't even do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Screw you, Lizzo. Yeah. You was trying to get off of my boy Jack Black. Nah, he's all good. He can make a song that sounds silly. He made a song called Peaches, and it's already got a million shorts.
I wonder if Lizzo had ever heard of Jack Black before she did that with him.
Yeah, right. Oh hell no, she has it. Come on, man. Come on. And I'm pretty sure he hasn't heard of her.
She's not of that School of Rock generation.
Yeah, I mean, like when we're talking about Jack Black, you guys gotta understand he's a special individual because he is true, honest, great writer, song composer, musician. This man's great. He's great, but he's a clown.
Can we just talk about how he played a character in a TV show, in a movie,
right,
and made me want to watch that movie? Like, do you remember him from The Office?
Yes,
when he was in a movie in The Office, and I was like, I could actually see this being a real movie right now. Like, come on, Jack, like make this.
Yeah, so I say, like, I get what they were trying to do with the comedy and all. I just felt like I had a feeling that this whole story was going to be ripped away from. Okay, this is when I really checked out. I remember the exact moment. Do you remember when they were training Goku with the little Mandalorian and they started shooting at his feet? Come on, man! Come on! What century we living in? The 21st century. Why am I watching like an animated stunt from like the Spiderman TV show? That was as bad as that. Watching Goku go back and forth like that. It's like I just took a baby. Look, they went like this. Like, did he even try? It just looked so crappy. I was like, what do you got? You Disney. So cringy. You're Marvel. Right. You're Disney. You got all this money. What are you doing? Why can't
it wasn't even that the CGI of it was bad.
That wasn't CGI at all.
Well, no, I know. But...
It literally was a guy going like this with a stick. I swear to God. It was a stick and they were going back and forth. I'm not lying. I seen the behind the scene footage. That's why I'm making fun of this stick. It was a doll on a stick. And they were just taking them and go and turning it. Like, I'm not even lying. That was the effect. They did like a green screen behind it, and the guy's going back. I'm telling you, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I said, "What is this? Is it just serious?" And the FX guys looks at us, and they pretty much were like laughing and like cringy at the same time. Like, yeah, this is it. Okay, this is gonna be fun to watch.
Film in LA.
Yeah, they still okay. So
like Marvel films, I know in Atlanta.
Okay, so it depends on what's going on at the time of the shows. So there's an East Coast there's the East Coast territory, which is the territory I work, and then you have the Mid-South, which is like Atlanta, Georgia, Tennessee, all the cities, areas, but they don't get the work that we get up here for volume. And then you have the LA syndicate, which is all that area. So okay, like let's say with a show, sometimes they can film in multiple places, and they do that usually. Like if you ever see a movie and they're in Hong Kong 1 minute, then they're in Singapore the next, then they're in America. Like, so we can actually catch like what was I on a couple years ago? One of those Fast and Furious movies, right? And I was on the tail end of it. We were doing like a it was supposed to be like a like a chase scene.
Fast and Furious 2099.
Who the hell knows? Yeah.
2099.
Isn't there another one coming out soon?
It came out today.
Oh,
Fast X.
Wait, really? It came out today?
Yep.
God dang.
Yeah, a couple of students were talking about it. I was like, they're probably going to end up coming out with them until Vin Diesel's in his 80s, and it's going to be Fast and Furious retirement home, and it's going to be them racing wheelchairs around the retirement home.
Chris, you got to start doing this when movies come out, right? Because I already know, shout out to your students.
Yeah.
They already ripped the copy, man. Y'all should be watching this in the classroom. You're like, okay, Fridays, new movie day. Whoever gets this movie gets an A+. I'd be the worst teacher, but I would be loved so much. They'll be bringing me ripped torrents of this movie. I'll be having kids bringing me actual DVDs, like the box sets and everything. Not even out yet. And I'm like, that's what I want, box sets. Give it to me.
No. All you gotta do for that, you gotta go to a swap meet, and then you get the bootleg, misspelled DVD cases.
I mean, like, I messed with some of those bootlegs, and some of them are dark. I mean, but hey, listen, you can rip these off online easy. I don't say pirate. It's not pirating, by the way. They tell you it's illegal.
He's advocating for it.
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people don't understand how this works, and I don't want to go into the details of it and corrupt the minds of the youth out here. I'll just say this much.
No, I'm pretty sure they're already corrupted by other things. I don't think this will corrupt them any further.
They're already stealing Kias.
This is what you do.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
what?
They're stealing Kias with freaking flash drives, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my Spiderman flash drive and find me a Kia and see if I can actually open it with that. Hope I don't.
So if you rip, I'll text it to you, Alex, because I don't want to put it out there on the internet. Because
text it to me. I need. I haven't heard of this.
Oh yeah, so it's pretty much like I'm not gonna say it like you said, but it's pretty much like having the keys. Pretty much, I just put it like that. It's really like it's funny.
Well, once you're into the car, pretty much you rip off the housing of where the key goes in.
Yeah.
And you can take the end of a flash drive and put it on this little nub that sticks out and turn it, and it'll turn the car on.
Yep.
That's what the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can actually use that to also open the lock with the door lock with it. So the same end that you use on the flash drive, you can use it to open the door. It's literally like having an open car.
They messed up big time on those cars.
That's why I don't trust like new cars and shit. Because
let me tell you something. New cars are the worst because you gotta understand when the pandemic happened and everything got shut down, microchips stopped being made as well. Yep. Microprocessors everywhere. Okay. Now in America, they did open up a microprocessing plant about a year and a half ago, but you're talking about making up for a volume. That's good. That's a 5-year volume. So a lot of cars that are getting off the assembly line right now, the new ones, they're not complete, by the way. That's what I'll tell you. You got to bring this back in a couple months because they don't have the microprocessors for the features.
Yeah.
They just don't have it. So anything new right now, I would advise people to just wait a few years before you buy anything new because you're going to have such a backup. You got to understand, this is just the way the world operates. When everything stops, there's a backlog. And when that backlog, like, I'm hoping that they don't go on strike from the 30th because if they do, I feel it's going to probably be, it'll probably be to the fall, and it could possibly go into the winter. I hope that's not the case, but if it does, then I'm looking to go back to work September, October, hopefully. It is what it is. I'm fortunate. This is more like how shall I say it? A pleasure cruise for me.
Well, I didn't know you were into that. I didn't know you were into pleasure cruises.
Well, the job itself, it's one of these like.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
It's like, for all the people who are watching, I always say this: go through hell in your lives. Please suffer. Go through hell. Go through hell. Go through it. I don't care. If you tell me you're suffering right now, good. Suffer more. You have to. Because
but I'm not heat tolerant though.
Listen. Okay? This is how you build yourself into this world. This is how it's done, people.
Hear this, kids? People, you gotta go through something.
Pay attention. Get your pad, get your notebook and paper ready. Come on, this is how we used to do back in the day. You're not gonna rewind this and watch it later. Well, if you are, you're gonna hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that. See, I got you, Chris. But this is what you do, people. You take things that are hard when you're young. You take things that are freaking impossible to do, that you'll hate every day of your life, that you wish that you can die. I want you all to do that. because then when you pass through all that, anything else you do after that, you're gonna see your life is just gonna be easy.
You could do anything. You can fly.
No. I'm not, listen, I'm not advocating flight. What I'm advocating to
I'm talking about I'm talking about buying a plane ticket and going on a plane. You can fly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Not actual flying. We can't do that yet.
The bottom line is this, man. Like, it's okay in this world to go through hardship and hell a little bit. I mean, you can't know what heaven is if you don't go through hell first.
But what if they're an atheist?
It doesn't matter. You're not gonna know anything. You're not gonna know anything good until you go through anything bad. How can you enjoy anything without knowing? Like, it's like being born rich, okay? And I know a lot. Shout out to all my rich friends out there. What up, yo? And I know a lot of rich kids.
Wait, if you know rich people,
I know men who are rich, and I can tell you right now, okay? And I'm telling you because I've seen it, and I always noticed this. Like, the richer people are, the more messed up they are, the more miserable they are, and it's not everybody, okay?
Money does not buy you happiness.
It becomes
more money, more problems, right, Stanley?
You know what?
Man, we're get copyrighted now because you're using the song.
Yeah, there you go. It just, you know what it is? It's that it comes to a point where you did so much in your life and you accomplished things, and then you get to that point where now it's very hard because, like, let's just say, like you moved in a way where it was unique and special, but the people around you didn't. You understand? So I'm not saying that I'm leaving anybody behind. But what I'm saying is that it's very hard to have a life of success and to have the balance of family and all that, because I always say this to people, and this is another reason why I'm wearing the mask, because I say honestly, I'm loved by many. I'm also hated by many for no fault of my own. I'm a good guy. I'm loved and hated by many people, but also
Chris, which one are you? Do you love or hate them?
I love them.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate how much I love them.
There you go. See, but I just
you know what? You're like Michael Scott.
I love how much I hate that he has more comics than we do combined.
Yeah, wait. So you're like Michael Scott?
Oh,
I want people to fear how much they love me.
Exactly.
Oh man, I mean, like, it's just like I'm actually almost ready. I've been doing a lot of work around the lair. Been doing a lot of work around the house, getting everything ready for the summer. And I just got like about, I don't even know, like I got about 700 or 800 comics I gotta put away. Not wrapped. These are ones are already wrapped and put in plastic and everything.
Oh, you'll give them away? You can give them to us.
You know, I'm gonna have another giveaway coming up soon, because I'll be honest, I have a lot of extra copies of things, and I found the last giveaway I did was really fun. Oh, and congratulations, Chris, you were the winner. I forgot about that. Congratulations.
Hey, this is Wig. Come on.
It's not Wig.
This is all Wig.
It's not Wig. I was so surprised, believe me.
Hasn't Chris won 3 times already on your show?
No. No, it's not Wig, man. I was happy that he won, but believe me, it was him, Mark Spector Comics, and another person that was following me on Instagram, and I was just watching it. Then Mark got eliminated. There was you and the last guy, and then you won. And I was like, oh, look at this! I couldn't believe it. That was fun. I want to do another giveaway soon. Yeah, and it's gonna be a very good
Chris is gonna win again, and then he's not gonna say, "Oh no, don't worry, it's not Wig." It's like Chris wins again.
I remember when I was I entered a few of Soul Twice's raffles. Shout out to my boy Soul Twice. What's up, man? And I hit I was like on every raffle I was winning, every raffle, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is something." Like, no, it's fair, bro. It's not a setup. I use the same randomizer program he used. That's how I got that wheel that he uses. I love that thing. That thing's the best. I mean, for a contest, it's real simple, But yeah, I'm gonna do another giveaway, and I'm gonna do like that single eliminator down to the last wire.
Did you do the duck races?
That to be fun. Say what? Duck races? Yeah, they have one for duck races, right?
Yeah, you should do that one.
Oh man, maybe I'll get that one too. Why not? Yeah, but I like giving away stuff. I got a lot of stuff to give away. I'm gonna eventually sell my comics, not all of them, just like my quadruple copies. Like I don't know. I'm a nut. I have at minimum. I have to have at
the
minimum.
reason why I can't get copies of comics is you have like 4 of each.
I have to have at
He's got
minimum.
all of them.
At minimum, I'm buying at least 2 copies of everything. That's it. I have to. I've always been like this. I mean, you gotta understand when I was young and I had to buy like I bought about 10 copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 300. And I remember back then they were $1.50. And I was a kid. I had to bust my ass. I had to pack bags. I had to, do things. I had to I had to work. I had to it was hard.
You had to do things that are unspeakable.
No, nothing like that, man. All my money's legal, baby. So I remember.
Chris is like, I'm not surprised.
We didn't say illegal. We just said unspeakable.
Yeah,
unspeakable, yeah.
You bought the illegal stuff. I
need comics. I need comics.
He was out there wiping asses of old people.
He's like, he's like, please, sir, I need some more comics.
No, I was waiting outside to whoever had an Amazing Spider-Man 300. I just yoke them up in the alleyway and just put them to sleep, and that's it. Relieved them of their
It was like give me your money. It's like, oh, here's all the cash. Here's all the cash. Like, wait, no, I want that comic.
I want that Amazing Spider-Man 300 out your pocket now. No, so I was able to buy 10, and I'll be honest, I got rid of about 5, 6 of them, but I did get keys for those too, so I use those well. But I still have 4 left from when I'm younger. I still have 1 I have not ever CGC'd yet. That's my mint baby. That's the one I was never touched. A 9/8. I have to dig it out. It's in my Pandora's boxes. I have freaking I don't even know what box it's in anymore. You guys don't understand. I had comics that was just sitting for decades, still bundled up, but they were put away, but they weren't so. But I started realizing after a couple of years of watching my pile grow from the floor to the ceiling in a room that literally if you opened up the door you couldn't walk in the room at all. I was like, oh my god, what the hell did I do? I have to get this under control. I've been organizing my collection for over a year now. A year, but it just never stops because I'm getting new stuff in. So I'm always, I'm not telling you guys nothing you don't know, especially you, Chris, because I see you live my life kind of. It looks like I mean, you got my struggles, right? You're sitting here with a pile of comics. You're like, I was supposed to put that away last week, maybe. I'll get to it, whatever. But
I've got the piles that I need to read, the piles that I need to bag and board, the piles that are bag and boarded that I need to inventory into a program and then put into a box, and I don't have any room in the boxes.
I have people who do that. So you're categorizing your comics and you're scanning them all into a database, right? So
So I don't scan them. I type them into an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh my god, so old school.
I know it is, but I like it because
it
I
works for you. It works.
I use a typewriter.
Exactly.
I was kidding.
No,
I handwrite it. How much my hand will probably fall off if I did that. It's why every single thing.
Ching.
Well, trust me, I wrote my comic the same way. I wrote it by hand. I didn't type it out. I wrote out the majority of the whole story already, and it was just I'm just sitting there. I'm doing the fight scene now, the final fight scene. So shout out to Way's Comics. Our project's called Symbiotic. He has a little teaser picture up there, so if you follow his profile picture, that's the character Einstein, our main character.
I have to go check that out.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah. So I'm not pushing anything to about another week or 2, but of course I'm gonna do my own show about it, and I'm not really okay. So we're up to the point where so explaining to you guys what's been going on. We started out originally with 15. I commissioned him for 15 pieces. Because
damn, that looks cool.
Because look, check it out. Because when he did this, right, I always had this around. He sent me this. I bought this from him, and I was like, "This is freaking amazing." He said he always wanted to make a comic like that. So this comic, give you an idea. So I don't even know if this has ever been a thing, but I don't think that there's ever been a completely hand-drawn comic from top to bottom, including the borders and all that. How you would have your actions, scenery, how, you could use programs and how, then he did this all by hand, including writing everything out. So this is the first comic that I ever seen in history that was actually hand-drawn completely. And by the same artist, lettered everything down to making panels, he hand drew the panels. This could be a very special book. And put a lot of work into it. And the process that I have and that we developed, it's really crazy. It's almost like as if I don't know. I want to say I want to say that it's my writing, but it's more than that. Like he just like I guess my writing, but at the same time he vibes with what I want to do, and I like that because that means that you're grasping what I want. Like, it's almost like as if I was explaining something to you, and you drew something for me exactly the way I explained it, and I'm like, what the hell? Or you did something that really blew my mind that I wasn't even expecting. That's what Wayways is doing. So shout out to you, Mr. Weathers. We're very proud of you. So we hope that this will take off. I mean, you know, my initial plans is to get like I'm gonna do my first 1,000, and I do have some ideas and businesses in the works because I'm gonna make I'm gonna probably do a GoFundMe, and that GoFundMe is gonna have well, I want to make 1,000 comics first, but the comics I'm making, I'm gonna have no ads in them, no advertisement. I want these to be completely collectibles, and they're gonna have 2 covers. It's gonna have my original art in the back and Wayway's cover in the front, which I'm not even gonna tell you guys what it is yet. But trust me, the minute you see it, okay, I'll put it to you like this: it's almost like a homage to Secret Wars 8. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And the freaking thing's amazing.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be you in that pose.
No. There's no self insertions in here.
Hold on. Instead of you, it's the front. It's just you in the backside. Get that tight.
No, it's actually like I mean like
that pose from Black Widow.
Yeah.
It's like the Secret Wars 8 cover, but with my character on it, the symbiotic character instead of the Black costume Spider-Man. This was totally his idea.
On Spider's
And when I saw it, I was freaking blown away. And I was like, he goes, so what do you think? I was like, oh yeah, that's the cover. So from that point on, since the series is going to be called Symbiotic, I decided that every cover I'm going to do now is going to be a homage cover. Like
nice.
for every character I have, they're going to have their own homage cover. They're going to be on the front of it. So, like, my next book, I already have an idea for the homage cover. They're all going to be related to Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage, the homage covers that I'm going to do. So, I already have an idea, like, what I'm going to do with the last character, the homage cover I'm going to use and everything. I mean, we're going to have some amazing talent on board soon. This is just the beginning. So, once I get... So, I'm literally want to do 1,000 books. I want to try to fund this myself.
I will send you a drawing, Spider's Lair. This will be a stick figure with a long tongue, and call that homage to Venom.
Send it to me, man. I'll put it in the layer. I'll actually feature it. I'm like, look at my stick figure Venom. Check it out.
No. Put it in the panel with Wayways drawing all sophisticated, and the one in the bottom left hand corner is just going to be the stick figure. Like,
I'll put it in the last page. It'll just be on the last page. Just all figured out.
Someone sent in fan drawing. It's just like, how old is the kid? Oh, wait, no, he's 26. Like, what?
Yeah, so like it's this whole freaking comics come together really good. And I'll be honest, man, this is like very exciting. And I mean, you know, I just hope that it's something that people are gonna like. I mean, like, I asked Mr. Weathers to describe to me what does he think about the story, and his words was the more that he gets of the story, the more he writes of it, the more intrigued he is with it, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. I said, don't just say that, man. He was like, no, I mean it. I was like, all right, as long as you mean it, because, you know, if it's crap, I could always go back and change some stuff. But I think I have a good understanding and grasp of what our fan base likes. What do we like? Yeah. What do we like? This is what we like. We like stories that have good art and have good storylines. Something that's simple to follow, not too complicated. Something that's in pseudoscience, yet you don't have to be a scientist to figure out. You understand? Like things like that.
Yes. I hope all the big 3 are listening, because they all need to start doing that more. Image, Marvel, and DC. Focusing on not just the artwork, but also the story.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, because there are people out there who, there's an open vacuum that's coming in this market, and there are people who are starving for great content. And trust me, follow us all, because trust me, we got great content. I got more great content coming. It's just going to keep coming, because I always say, customers always right. It's for you guys. Yep. I write this, but I'm thinking about what other people are going to like. I don't care what people think about me in real life. However, when it comes to writing, I want the audience and I want people who are reading it to really grasp this and understand what's going on. And if they like it, even if you don't like it, give whatever opinion you want. I don't care. Any news is good news, you know? I just say this much. Like, when it comes to creativity in this world, we can create whatever the hell we want, you know? You just got to be able to have a good idea and try to bring your ideas to life. This is the best thing I could tell people. How you would do that, everybody has their own individual way. I was just lucky to have met artists and collect, and I have like an extensive Instagram following. Not like, you know, but I've met a lot of people on Instagram that really helped me get. And Instagram's a good place to socialize when it comes to things like this. I mean, you know, I heard you can also use it for dating. I don't know. I don't date, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I mean, I just say this to anybody. There's going to be a vacuum of creativity and new ideas, because once Disney is done ruining every freaking thing that was ever made in history and rewriting it to where you having a freaking all-girl show with the bad guy being the white old Count Dooku guys,
Yo,
then you're gonna have people who miss the freaking. I miss the hero that used to save the damsel in distress. I miss the Wonder Woman that would come out and save the freaking down plane and help Superman. Like everybody talks about diversity and inclusion. Listen, people. When you say diversity and inclusion in comics, it makes me laugh so hard, because comics have been the most diverse and inclusive place in history. History. I'll give you a timeline that you can go on that's perfect, and it won't be too far back. Comics are being too expensive. But start in 1975. Anything made from 1975, okay? And I'll tell you what was made that year. Hulk on TV, Hulk comics, Spiderman, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a hot. Let me tell you, shout out to Linda Carter. She still looks fantastic. Oh my God. Let me tell you something, man. Oh boy, we all had a crush on freaking Linda Carter. You kidding me? When that music came on, oh my God.
So what I'm hearing is next week we should talk about, is our comics more diverse now than they ever have been, or have they always been diverse and people are just trying to fit diversity in?
That's a great conversation piece. I would love.
And you see how I already answered that, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna say this for next week, because you know, as you can hear, we're gonna have a history lesson.
Hold on. I like how we have this diversity with 3 men talking about it. don't you see the irony of that?
It doesn't matter. We're 3 men of 3 different backgrounds, so we are diverse.
Yeah, we have Chris, Strasler, and the gorilla. Yeah, 3 different diverse backgrounds.
Yeah,
I identify as gorilla.
There you go.
My pronouns.
Nobody else on YouTube can say they have a gorilla that sits on their live stream every Friday night who talks to the screen.
Yeah. Yes. Listen, and if you guys want to refer to me, my proper pronouns are spiders and lair. That's my pronouns, right? Spiders, lair.
What about you, Chris? Is it comics and lounge?
Yep. Yeah, there you go. That's his pronoun. See, I'm gonna make something and put that as my pronoun. That's what they got pronouns.
Mine's like ape or gorilla. Those are my pronouns.
Not monkey.
No, those are primates. Those are primates, not apes.
Get it right. They're primates.
If you call me a damn lemur one more time,
man. Hey, wait. Actually, lemurs are pretty cool, but
no,
that's
they
not
aren't.
the case.
But...
I know. Wait, have you seen those videos of lemurs walking backwards? They look like long neck dinosaurs.
On that note, I gotta go to bed.
All right.
Yeah. Look at the video of lemurs walking backwards with the Jurassic Park music. That will change your life.
All right. And the last thing I gotta say is watch anything with the damn honey badger. And I'm telling you, I may make a comic based on a freaking honey badger. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a great night.
Peace, everyone.